Yo, what's up, everybody? Shampoo here. Yeah. Alright, so as you can see, Uncharted 3 has been getting some very high scores as of lately. And some perfect scores even. IGN today, I believe, gave Uncharted 3 a 10 out of 10. Perfect scores, especially by IGN, aren't really thrown around like that too much. So, it kind of shows to them that this game is in very high regard. But the thing is that if you played the Uncharted series, you knew that this game was going to be very exceptional, no matter what score or anything that it got. Now, me particularly, I don't really judge a game by any one particular, company or editor's score, wherever it may be. I always want to play the game for myself. But seeing kind of like a generalization of all these different ratings that are coming into this game, it gives you the idea of, wow, okay, this game is really going to be as great as I expected it to be, or even better. So I always knew that this third one was going to be great. Okay, now there was elements in Uncharted 2 that a lot of people didn't. I don't know. I know some people probably did really kind of recognize it and to really see how great that game really was. But there was elements in Uncharted 2 that no other games really did. Such as the train scene. I mean, that was an actual level that you were playing through. That was fucking awesome. That was outstanding how they pulled that off. And that's why when you look at any Naughty Dog like behind the scenes or anything, they always talk about that level, because they know that is like a stamp on that game that shows that, hey, we're doing something that other people aren't doing. Another thing is the chasing. That's an element in the game that if very few, then no other games really did. Because what's the common statement that a lot of people use for games? You watch the badass stuff happen and you play the game. Like in Uncharted 2, like that chase scene, I believe you're in the mountains or something, and Elena is driving the car and you're in the back and you're shooting all these different people that are coming up pulling trucks and all that stuff. It's not like one of those games where, I just have to protect the truck until we get to the destination. No, like you literally come from one spot and jump to another truck and then jump to another one and all this other shit while you're doing all this battling. I mean, that is unprecedented. And it's not like, okay, I jumped from here to that truck and there's a cutscene showing me. Like, no, you actually do it. That whole thing was just like, it was beautifully, beautifully made. And if you can't really give the respect and recognition to see, like, wow, like that is amazing how they pulled that off, man. Which is just another reason why, when packed in with everything that Uncharted 2 made, was why Uncharted 2 was such a special game. And you can see it with all the ratings and all the Game of the Awards and stuff like that the game was commended for. But this brings it into the next part of this video, which is why Uncharted has stepped out of the game realm and turned into an experience. Uncharted 2 was an experience. Uncharted 1 was a great game. And I've talked about this before, and in the time that I talked about this, it was on my original channel, I believe, and I was doing a reply video to Bald.Games. At the time, I believe he was still Infinite Retro, I think, but it was when he just played and beat Metal Gear Solid 4. Metal Gear Solid 4 isn't a game, it's an experience, and it's something, like I said, I've talked about this a while about how games are, like for instance, last year, let me see, Red Dead Redemption, Mass Effect 2, and Heavy Rain. Me personally, I thought Heavy Rain was the best game of last year, plain and simple. And the reason why, it was an experience. It was totally different than anything that I really played personally. And on top of that, it was fantastic. It wasn't a game. Some people are like, oh no, it wasn't a game, it was a fucking playable movie. Like, no, it was a true experience. Mass Effect 2 was just a glorified game. It was a great game. Red Dead Redemption was a very good game, But Heavy Rain kind of just had its own element to it. You know, the same thing with Metal Gear Solid 4. You know, MGS4 was an experience. You know what I'm saying? Like, same thing with games like Shadow of the Colossus. It's an experience. Like, there's something about these certain games that exceed other games, and they take them to a totally different level. But I believe the last game to really get a 10 out of 10 on IGN or anything like that was Metal Gear Solid 4, I think so. And I think before that was the latest Grand Theft Auto, I think. But anyways, that's all I really wanted to say. I don't really want to go too deep into this whole difference between games and experiences and stuff like that. But once you realize the difference in the two, that's when you can really appreciate what's going on here and appreciate different developers. Because after I played Uncharted 2, man, like, and really had a chance to kind of reflect on it, I was like, man, Naughty Dog is quickly becoming one of my favorite developers. So that whenever they put out a game, I always want to make sure that I check out their games. And seeing how the industry as of right now is seeing this game with all these scores and stuff that they're getting this thing, I'm getting a very generalized feel of how this game is really gonna turn out in the end when it gets into my hands and I really get a chance to play this game. And I think it's gonna be great. I can't wait. I really can't wait. Alright, y'all, this is Shampoo. Thanks for watching. Peace.
Uncharted 3 is more than just a game. This is an experience.